Welcome to News Hour, 60 minutes of news live from Beijing on CCTV International. I'm Li Dongying. We'll start in Indonesia. The death toll from Wednesday's earthquake is at least 44 in the epicenter, West Java. More than 18,000 houses as well as offices, mosques and other buildings were damaged. Officials say 42 people are listed as missing and the death toll could change significantly. And some coastal areas were out of contact for several hours. The quake has also caused landslides in some areas, and survivors are staying outdoors for fear of aftershocks. The force from the 7.0 magnitude quake shook buildings in the capital Jakarta, 190 kilometers away. Well, West Java is the epicenter of the earthquake in Indonesia. Zeng Sui is taking us to the village to check out the impact of the tremor.
The first night after disaster, residents in the West Java village of Pengalengan stay in makeshift tents. The quake has already destroyed hundreds of houses.
I'm here because my house collapsed and I'm afraid of more aftershocks.
Paramedics from the Indonesian Red Cross are treating the victims.
I was in my house when the quake struck. I waited for a moment and then ran out as the roof tiles crushed on my head.
Authorities in Pengalengan estimate some 5,000 have taken refuge outside their homes. Some even do for fear of aftershocks, although their houses still stand. They are still compiling details of the casualties.
From
the report so far, 7 have died, one of them a child. Some 80 were injured, but 90% have gone home. 7 are still at the hospital.
Local authorities say the earthquake has affected half of Pengalengan's districts. They will decide later whether the area needs heavy equipment to clear the debris and look for possible survivors. Zeng Sui, CCTV.
UN agencies are assessing the situation and determining the priority needs for the local population. UN officials say the mission involves staff from the UN Development Programme, the World Food Programme, the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, the World Bank, the UN Department of Safety and Security, and also the UN's Children's Fund. Because we've got a bad signal just now to reach our reporter in Jakarta for the update of the earthquake there in West Java. Now let's get back to her to see what's new with her. Ria Nurchaman on the line. She's currently standing by in the Indonesian capital Jakarta. Hello there, Ria. Finally we reached you. Can you hear me? Hello, Ria.
Hello, I'm sorry.
Well,
yes, speaking. Yeah, can you hear now?
Yeah, sure. Well, it's almost 24 hours since the quake struck. What has been the effect on the people there?
Well, the local government now has built a temporary shelter for those who have lost their houses and for those who are scared to go back to their houses. From the last data that we are collecting, that there are at least 500 people who are at the temporary shelters. And the government has also deployed a medical unit and also logistics that will be needed over there. So that's what the measurement from the local government so far up until now.
Well, can you update us on the rescue operations in some badly hit areas, especially in the West Java?
Well, the rescue operation is still ongoing right now, and then the basic procedure is they will be still executing the operation for a week. And then there is also one village there is a landslide in one village, and it has buried the whole small village, and it is predicted there are at least 40 people live in that buried village. So the rescue operation is still ongoing. Yes, and it actually has been intensified.
Right. Well, from the news we saw just now, the survivors are staying outside houses for fear of the aftershocks. Now, have local authorities predicted any more aftershocks? About the aftershocks, have any predictions on the aftershocks?
Can you repeat the question again? I'm sorry.
I was mentioning about the aftershocks that people are fearing about. Have the local authorities predicted any more aftershocks?
Well, for the aftershocks, the meteorological agency has reported there are 66 small, low magnitude aftershocks has occurred since yesterday. However, because it is a low magnitude, so they haven't issued a warning a warning to the people, because those type of aftershocks is naturally happen, and it's usually not danger.
Then what measures is the government putting in place to minimize damage from future earthquakes, if there will be any?
Well, the disaster coordinate agency has indeed shifted their strategy to handle the earthquake. Before they focus more about the responsive part, but now they are more focused on the preventive part, which is one of their program is educating the Indonesian people what they have to do when the earthquake occurred. Because just like yesterday, for the people who work at the tall building, I myself was at the 27th floor, and then I had to run down through the exit emergency for that 27th floor down to the ground floor. But according to them, it is actually not necessarily for us to go down that far, because it actually took time, and then it actually dangerous. So for us to be just stay safe under the table is quite sufficient, and then wait until the earthquake occurred. So that tells us, that tells Indonesians that the socialization about what to do if the earthquake occurred is not being socialized very well.
Okay, thank you very much. Ria Noorchman reporting from Indonesian capital Jakarta on the update of the West Java earthquake. Well, let's get back to from the miserable place to the city in heaven. We continue our story on Suzhou in eastern China.